A good night of Shabbos, Parshas Nasai. Is there anything else going on besides being Erev Shabbos from one week to the other? It seems like, yeah, I guess it works because if we meet every Erev Shabbos, then we're connecting from almost like holding hands from one Erev Shabbos to another Erev Shabbos, which is it's almost like the Kesser has its own program. All the Kesarim, Kesser and Malchus, they keep meeting each other. They can bypass Kesser, can bypass. Usually, the Seder Stalshalis is that you have to go from one to the other. In other words, I have to think, and then I have to machshava, then dibber, speak, and then Maisa, I have to do an action, and I have to go through the different channels, which is different. Go through the heart, which is the six channels of Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, the Midas, Netzachoid, Yisoid, and in the process, different things get triggered, different things are coming up as obstacles, or different things are in the way of one trying to get what he wants, or which is, as you are already, if you're on your mission and on your way of getting what you want to accomplish what you set out to do, but then there's different oppositions that make you think or question if it's b'chal what you want. And this is the process of the birurim, the working out, giving a bitter to the world that we're in, Malchus. But when you go from Kesser, Kesser bypasses everything and goes straight to Malchus. You can accomplish whatever you want simply by going to Kesser, which means if you tap into your desire, if you tap into raw Ratzon, you're at the end of the day, we all meet in the Ratzon, we meet in the desire. What do I want? Where do I want to get to? And of course, Oinig, which goes into pleasure, Ava, self-love. I mean, Oinig is not really self-love, but yeah, it's Oinig is higher than that. It just is. It's being in the moment. So yeah, so we're meeting on Erev Shabbos, which is when you have something in a cast, you put concrete in a cast to form something, and then the way you remove the shape, the mold that it's in, you start hitting it with a hammer, so you loosen it up. So by meeting every Erev Shabbos, we're loosening up the molds, so we can get to the core of what it is, which is ultimately the whole week is here to just is the mold, and what's inside the mold is the spirit of the week, which is Shabbos. Shabbos is Shabbos Vayinofesh. It's a moment of rest. It's a moment that's where and who we really are, which is um, just being present, getting into the moment. Which let's go to that. Nasai, Nasai, Parshas Nasai, which means that pick up your head. Nasa Yisrael b'nei Gershon, but Nasa Yisrael. Pick up your head. What does it mean picking up your head? You have the all the other nations have a Lakud Elakaya. They have a God from a God, which is they understand that the koiches that are coming from the stars and from the sun and the moon, that there is a higher power above that, but they're like he's not really busying himself with the world, or some say he's not in control, whatever they say. So they work with that koich, and this is as far as they can reach. But a yid is from the core itself, from the centerpiece itself. So therefore, there's tremendous pain. In other words, Imus Oilam can afford to let go. They can afford to have sveikas. They can afford to go into doubt and have his opinion. But if a yid lets go, that's a very painful process, because we are receiving from the source itself. And if you detach yourself from when you are the source and you detach yourself from the source, there is no room for error, kind of, so to speak. So that is Nasa Yisroel, which means pick up your head. Where where were you? Where were you a year ago? Where were you 2 years ago? How much have you accomplished, especially if you've been doing this work? What have you learned? How has your life changed? What's going on in your mind? What is coming out? Um, what's running in your brain right now? What type of letters were in your head running before you started tapping into to Torah, Hasidus, and the words of enlightenment, the words of they are taking us out from this prison, the illusion of Golos, Ahinu K'chayim. And where is your head right now? What's happening right now? And we have to start empowering ourselves with, we keep coming back. We always come back to the source. We come back to my where I'm comfortable. Yes, my life is A, B, and C, but I keep coming back to where I'm comfortable, which is in my pain. Sitting in my sitting in the mud. Yeah. And that is called malchus. That's the fabric. We spoke about this many times, but that's the fabric. Not about this, but the concept. There are separations. What we're experiencing is separations. As the light comes down, it goes through different separations. In order for us to exist, in order for us to be here, there is separation. So the light comes through a curtain. In some areas, it comes through. In higher realms, it goes through a window, from Ein Sof to Atzilus, and then it starts going through a curtain. So this body that we are in right now is a curtain. It's a screen. This curtain is a screen. The screen is made out of different lack ofs. It's missing stuff, and because it's missing stuff, it's in pain, it's grinding, it's nagging, and all that. But that's not really where it's at. The reason that the nagging and all that, the lack of, is not to be busy with the lack of, but rather to see what's trying to project onto the lack of. Tune into what the light that's coming in, that's being reflected onto the screen. And the way to do this is by start to process what have you accomplished, how far have you grown, how far have you come. Even if you know Aleph, even if you know just an Aleph, how many didn't know Aleph? Well, of course we know Aleph is, but we didn't know what Aleph is. Didn't connect to it. We didn't connect that I'm fine, even that if I put on my tefillin, I just listen to a nigun and say Shema Yisrael, I'm connecting just to the fire of it, because that's all I have, that's all I got, and that's what Ula Lekach Niver. That's your channel, that's your fire. That's the fire, and then adding to that more letters, more oisius, and becoming mindful that everything and anything that I do, I am in the game. I'm interacting with Boira. I'm a part of creation. It's yin yang. I'm giving, somebody's taking, and then he's giving me back. So we give and we take, we give and we take, and with that we energize this down here malchus. We energize it with oil. We energize it with light. We energize it with light, and from there, this is where you find yourself in where you want to be, in a place out of the pain. And this is where change, complete change, radical change. The earth that we are planting, that we live out of, Malchus is earth, that's where we are. There is earth, trees grow earth, a house sits on it. There is our bodies as offer, it's earth, and then here we are. The soul is inside of it, souling itself. We can change the soil completely. You don't need to. Still be reference yourself with who am I. Who am I? How have I stretched my temptations and my eskafi and eshapch, my holding back and my complete turning over the way I was? That's not where you need to be. B'chlal not focusing on the wrong thing. Then I stop focusing on the malchus. Stop focusing on not the malchus. Stop focusing on the screen. You want to focus on the positive, and that's where the radical change happens. Where completely you are transformed from one being to a complete different being. You're b'chlal not the same person. You're changing the code. And this is a part of Kabbalah Satori. Once you enter in a new letter, a new number, then you're changing your coordinates. You're a complete different person now. Right? What's the inyan of a Kabbalah? Kabbalah is a chalata. What's a chalata? If there's a missile launch to this and this address, Aleph Beis Gimel, and now you add a dalet over there, then the missile cannot find its way to the target because it's in a different coordinates. It's a different address. So we are all targets. The pain and the squeeze that you're experiencing is not as a result of somebody trying to squeeze you. It's literally what we are creating, and that comes back at me. My own Gehenna is what I'm dialing in. The way I program myself, that's what I'm going to see. So if I change my coordinates, then that incoming is switches from something frequency low to a very high frequency, which is a moment of Shabbos in the middle of the week. Which also in Etzisrael it's already about lois chasanedas, lighting up the light, lighting up the candles, lighting up the fire. Lighting up the fire is pick up your head. Pick up your head, and as you pick up your head, allow it to clean yourself automatically, letting go of that resentment, letting go of that bite. The bite, that's the nachash, it's the snake. If there's any resentment, then it's the nachash. That's where it's at. Yeah, listen, some is still in process, some is still necessary, but understand where it needs to be. There is that's number one for this. Yeah. So all right, we'll start another one.